Welcome back, history enthusiasts. Today, we're diving into a forgotten chapter of World War II, the Battle for Manchuria. Now, you might be thinking, why is this topic so interesting? Well, brace yourselves, because this conflict was not only a decisive moment in the war, but it also marked the end of Japanese influence in the region. We'll explore how the USSR executed a masterful military operation, crushing Japanese forces and reshaping the balance of power in East Asia. Trust me, this story is full of twists, strategic brilliance, and a true turning point in history. Stick around until the end to fully grasp the impact of this forgotten battle. And before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, hit that like button, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's get started. The Battle for Manchuria was a pivotal moment in history, as it marked the climax of the conflict between the Soviet Union and Japan during World War II. This fierce battle, which took place from August 9 to September 2, 1945, ultimately led to the complete crushing of Japanese influence in the region. The Soviet Union's strategic objectives were to secure its borders, gain control over the valuable Manchurian resources, and potentially extend its influence in East Asia. The battle unfolded in a series of intense military operations that showcased the Soviet Union's military prowess and ultimately proved to be a turning point in the war. To understand the significance of the Battle for Manchuria, it is important to delve into the geopolitical context of the time. Japan had occupied Manchuria since 1931, taking advantage of the political instability in China. This occupation allowed Japan to exploit the region's vast natural resources, establish puppet governments, and exert its dominance over northeast China. However, as World War II progressed, Japan's hold on Manchuria began to weaken, and the Soviet Union saw an opportunity to reclaim the region. The Soviet offensive began on August 9, 1945, with a massive onslaught of troops and tanks. The Red Army, under the command of Marshal Alexander Vasilevsky, swiftly advanced into Manchuria, employing a combination of coordinated ground assaults and strategic bombing campaigns. The Japanese forces, caught off guard by the ferocity of the Soviet attack, struggled to mount an effective defense. The battle quickly turned into a rout, with the Red Army overpowering the Japanese at every turn. One of the key factors that contributed to the Soviet Union's success was its overwhelming numerical superiority. The Red Army deployed over 1 million troops, supported by thousands of tanks, artillery units, and aircraft. In contrast, the Japanese forces in Manchuria numbered around 700,000, and they were ill-equipped and demoralized after years of grueling warfare. The Soviet Union's military tactics also played a crucial role in its triumph. The Red Army utilized a combination of conventional warfare and innovative strategies to outmaneuver the Japanese. Marshal Vasilevsky employed the concept of deep battle, which involved conducting simultaneous offensives on multiple fronts, creating confusion and preventing the enemy from mounting a cohesive defense. This approach allowed the Soviet forces to penetrate deep into Manchuria and rapidly dismantle Japanese defenses. Another significant aspect of the Battle for Manchuria was the effective coordination between the Red Army and the Soviet Air Force. The Soviet Air Force launched relentless airstrikes against Japanese positions, destroying infrastructure, disrupting supply lines, and sowing panic among the Japanese troops. This air superiority gave the Soviet ground forces a distinct advantage and allowed them to advance rapidly. In addition to the military aspects, the Battle for Manchuria had far-reaching political and diplomatic implications. The Soviet Union's decisive victory in Manchuria played a crucial role in Japan's decision to surrender, which ultimately led to the end of World War II. The Soviet Union's actions in Manchuria also solidified its position as a major global power and contributed to the subsequent division of Korea and the emergence of the Cold War. Overall, the Battle for Manchuria was a watershed moment in history. It showcased the Soviet Union's military might and effectively ended Japanese influence in the region. The battle's ramifications extended far beyond the battlefield, shaping the course of world events for years to come.